Welcome back, guys. Thanks for following me along. On today's topic, we are going to be talking about the proper way to clean a flame sensor. This is on the same furnace that I was at with the other video about the igniter. It is an 80% Lennox furnace. And the proper way to do this would be A, make sure that your power is off again. That way you're not having to worry about, the furnace coming on or the air conditioning coming on, sending voltages through or anything like that. But mainly because of the heat right now, because we are here on a heating maintenance. So we don't have the air on, we have the heat on. But number one is if the furnace has been on for any amount of time, be careful with this thing because these things will be hot. They do have the potential to burn you. First thing you need to know is the location of your flame sensor. Most of them look like a little simple rod like this, where they have the white nylon wire to it. Some of them do have different color wires. The color of the wire doesn't matter. What you're looking for is the little porcelain stub right here, which if you look on the bottom, it has a long metal rod. It'll be sticking in front of the burner. That is your flame sensor. So what we want to do is, since we had the power off, we're going to go ahead and disconnect this. Set this wire off to the side so you don't lose it. You know where it's at. And you can say, hey, I've got a loose wire. Make sure you can reconnect it. If you fail to reconnect it, you will have issues. This one is a 1/4 inch screw. So we're going to pull this screw out of here really fast. Get this thing disconnected. And we're going to pull the flame sensor out. This one actually looks pretty clean. As you can see, it's got some burns on it, which is typical off wear and tear. But what we want to do is, I'm going to set this phone down again for a second so I can show you. There's a lot of different ways that guys clean these things. Some guys use sanding cloth. I prefer to use a wire brush. Good old wire brush. The reason why I like the wire brush over the sanding cloth is because when you think about it, what happens when you heat sand? It turns into glass. Glass is an insulator. Therefore, you don't get the proper current out of your flame sensor. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take this thing. We're going to hold it like so. And you're just going to take it and you're going to brush it all the way up and down, all the way around. And get it nice and good. Now you will still have some marks on here. They won't go away. The only way to do that is to replace your flame sensor. But guaranteed, you replace it next year, you come back, it'll still look like this. It'll still have the burn marks from where it's been in the burner. So what we're going to do is put this back in here. And we're going to put our screw back in. Get this thing held down. Strapped in, supported. Like so. Good and tight so it's not wiggling around. Then you're going to take your wire and you're going to plug it right back in. Now, some of you will probably have questions on how to read this to know that it's working properly, and I will get to that in a later video. But that's it. That's how you clean your flame sensors. So if you have a diagnostic board like such on your furnace, and you have any kind of code showing a low flame signal that says check the flame sensor, start with a simple cleaning, plug it back in, fire the furnace back up, see if that fixes it. If not, then you have a bigger problem, and that's where you would have to do some further diagnostics. But if it takes care of the problem, wonderful, you're back in business. It's recommended to have these things cleaned once a year by the manufacturers. But other than that, if you guys have any questions, put them in the comments below. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and I appreciate it, guys. Have a wonderful day.